Hello, my friends. This is Miss Sarah, your Nutrition and Action Educator. We are going to be reading a book today called How Do You Raise a Raisin? From the Healthy Schools, Healthy Communities curriculum, developed by the Michigan Fitness Foundation. While we're reading the book today, I want you to keep a few questions in mind. First of all, what food group is a raisin in? That's right, it's a fruit. What other foods are in the fruit group? Yes, apples, oranges, bananas. Where do fruits grow? Yup, they grow on trees, they grow on vines, bushes, plants all over the world. Why is it important to choose healthy snacks? That's right, to stay healthy and energized. How do you raise a raisin? How do you raise a raisin? Tell me so I'll know. They're such peculiar little things. How do they sprout and grow? Do raisins grow on Earth or other planets far away? Do aliens collect them and space shuttle them our way? Raisins are dried grapes. So far, there is no proof that raisins grow on other planets. Raisins are grown on Earth in countries like Turkey, Iran, Greece, Australia, and the United States. Oh my goodness, a slippery page. So who discovered raisins? Were they here when Earth began? Who was the first to nibble them, dinosaur or man? Raisins were probably discovered when someone or something tasted grapes that had dried on the vine. Over the years, people and animals figured out which grapes produced the sweetest, yummiest raisins. Do raisins grow in one place, like Raisin Creek or Raisin Hill? Is there a special town called Raisin Field or Raisinville? Raisins grow best in areas with nice dirt, many days of hot weather, a dry climate, and plenty of water. Excuse me. Almost all of the raisins in the United States are grown in the San Joaquin Valley of California, near towns like Tachila, Dinuba, Kingsburg, Selma, Weed Patch, and even Raisin City. About 90% of the raisins sold in the United States come from the area around Fresno, California. Do farmers plant some seeds from the local garden shop and wait for raisin bushes to produce a raisin crop? Farmers start a new crop of raisins by taking cuttings from an older grapevine. These pieces of stem are planted in sand until they sprout. Then they are planted in the field next to a wooden stake. Notice how the grapevines and the sprawling branches grow. Does a grapevine tamer train them into picture-perfect rows? Grapevines are grown about 8 feet apart. Field workers hand tie the sturdy branches or canes to rows of wire. There are usually 2 sets of wire, a top set that is about 6 feet high, and a second wire that is 3 or 4 feet high. How long do raisins take to grow? A week, a month, or a year? How many hours must you wait for a raisin to appear? It takes at least 3 years until the vines are old enough for the first crop of raisins. That's 26,280 hours. Wow. When grapes are ripe and ready, how do farmers get them down? Do they rent a burly giant to shake them to the ground? When the grapes are ready, skilled grape pickers snag the grape clusters from the vines using a sharp vine cutter. Most grapes are turned into raisins the same way they've been for thousands of years. They are left to dry naturally in the sun. raisins lie on while they're basking in the sun? Do they rest on little beach towels until they've dried and done? The grape clusters are laid on brown paper trays on the ground between the grapevine rows. This is called laying the grapes down. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Most raisin growers plant their vineyards in east to west rows. This way, grapes drying between the rows receive the most sun. If they were drying in north to south rows, the grapes would be in the shade part of the day, and when it comes to raising raisins, the more sun, the better. How long do clusters lie around to sweeten, dry, and bake? How many weeks in the valley heat does raisin making take? Raisins bake in the sun for about 2 to 3 weeks. Then the paper trays are rolled into bundles that look like burritos and are left in the field for a few more days to make sure that all the raisins are as dry. Raisins do not look like grapes. They're withered and wrinkled. Are they soaked inside a bathtub until their skin is crinkled? As grapes bake in the hot sun, their water evaporates. The more water they lose, the more the grapes shrivel, causing wrinkles. How many grapes must our farmer dry upon the valley ground to make a box of raisins that weighs about 1 pound? Takes about 4 1/2 pounds of fresh grapes to make 1 pound of raisins. How do the raisins get from fields to the raisin factory door? Does a vacuum cleaner suck them up from the dusty valley floor? Farm workers toss the raisin bundles into a wooden trailer. The raisins are sent across a shaker that gets rid of the dirt and rocks. Then raisins are taken to the factory and stored in big boxes called bins until they are ready to be packaged. When they're needed, raisin bins are brought into the factory for packaging. It takes only 10 minutes from bin to package. Workers and machines take off the stems and capstums, sort and wash the raisins. Then the raisins are packaged in a variety of boxes and bags. Which answers, who puts raisins in the boxes that keep them sweet and dry? Do tiny fairy princesses stuff each one inside? We know that's not the answer now. What happens to the raisins that aren't the very best? Are they sent to raisin prep school until they pass the test? Get plenty of sun, roll over after 2 weeks, and dry evenly. When it comes to raisins, nothing is wasted. The stems and capstums are ground up and used for animal feed. Raisins that are not perfect are made into raisin concentrate that's used as a natural preservative in cakes, breads, and cookies. The best raisins are used for eating, baking, and adding to cereals. Raisins taste so very sweet, but they're considered sugar-free. Is each one dipped in a honey pot by a busy honeybee? Raisins are naturally sweet. What's so great about raisins anyway? They're nutritious. Raisins are rich in iron, calcium, potassium, and B vitamins and provide a good source of fiber. They make other foods taste better. Raisins have tartaric acid, a flavor enhancer. Raisin juice and raisin paste are used in a variety of sauces such as pasta, barbecue, and steak sauces to boost their flavor. Raisin paste is sometimes used as filler in meatballs and meat pies to provide more servings. Raisins have a rich, natural color. Raisin juice is often added to frozen dairy desserts and baked goods as a color enhancer or food coloring. Ground raisins can be used instead of fat in fat-free baked goods like fat-free muffins, cookies, and brownies. Raisin paste and raisin juice concentrate are mold inhibitors that prevent food from spoiling as easily. Bakers often use raisin products instead of artificial preservatives. Have you noticed that raisin bread lasts longer than other breads? Interesting. Raisins extend the shelf life of bakery goods by several days over products without raisin products. Maybe it preserves us a little longer, huh? So now you know how raisins grow. Here's a little raisin history. Tangy and tasty. Let's put them in the bread. Between 1200 and 900 BC, the ancient Phoenicians produced Muscat raisins in Spain. So called because they were made from Muscat grapes with their distinctive musk odor. The Phoenicians also made tiny raisins from small seedless grapes grown near Corinth, Greece, called Raisin de Corinthe by the French. They eventually became known as currants. About the same time, Armenians grew a special seedless grape in Persia, Iraq, Iran, and Turkey. Historians say they were grown specifically for the rulers of the day, the sultans, so these raisins were called sultanas. These dried sultanas are delicious, and I am the only one who can eat them. The Romans started using raisins in trade, and the dried fruit became so valuable that they could be used to purchase just about anything. Let's see, 2 pots of raisins. I can get a new toga, new sandals, and an arm bracelet for Mom. The early Greeks and Romans valued raisins so much that they were given as prizes in sporting events. First place, a parcel of raisins. What? No gold medal? Doctors of ancient Rome and Greece began using raisins to treat all sorts of problems, from joint aches to old age. I'm feeling a little old today, doctor. Take 9 raisins and call me in the morning. The ancient general Hannibal, who fought a war against Rome in the 200s BC, fed raisins to his troops as they crossed the Alps. Are we there yet? I'm hungry. We can't stop the elephants. Have some raisins. Raisins didn't become popular in Europe until the 11th century, when knights returning home from the Crusades brought raisins back with them from the Mediterranean and Persia. Daddy, did you bring me a catapult? No, son, but I brought you raisins. Grape growing and raising raisins spread to France, Germany, and Spain. Then in the 18th century, Spanish missionaries brought grape stock, pieces of grapevines, and the knowledge of grape growing, viticulture, to Mexico in what is now California. Over the years, raising raisins flourished, but raisin seeds were a problem. When seeds were removed, the raisins became a sticky, clumpy mess. Bakers and people who liked to eat raisins found the troublesome. They hoped for a seedless grape that would produce a yummy raisin. In 1876, William Thompson introduced the Lady de Coverley grape to California. The green grapes were seedless with thin seeds and produced a sweet and flavorful raisin. These grapes changed the raisin-producing industry forever and are still known today as Thompson seedless grapes. Today, 95% of the California raisin crop is Thompson seedless grapes. For centuries, from Hannibal to the astronauts, people have valued raisins. Scientists who planned the space shuttle menus knew that raisins are the perfect fast food for long journeys. They are lightweight, don't spoil easily, satisfy the craving. for something sweet and provide nutrition and energy. Ooh, they got snacks on the back. Ants on a Log, one of Miss Sarah's personal favorites. This one, they have celery, cream cheese, and raisins. I love to put peanut butter or sun butter in there. This is Rats on a Raft. Spread cream cheese on graham crackers and dot raisins. Yum. Ooh, and these are good. They call these super balls. Honey, powdered milk, peanut butter, graham cracker crumbs, raisins, and then crushed cornflakes or dried coconut. So if you want to learn more about these recipes, you definitely want to read How Do You Raise a Raisin? So in closing, what are some of the interesting facts about the healthy snack that you learned? The raisin. That is interesting, isn't it? I thought the history was fascinating. What are some of the ways you have eaten raisins? No, I don't mean like through your nose or through your ears. I mean like some of the recipes on the back. Yeah, they're amazing in oatmeal cookies, right? And what are some other healthy snacks? Because we know a raisin is a healthy snack. Yep, pickles, sunflower seeds, watermelon. You guys are on a roll. Just keep it going. All right, my friends. I hope you love this book, and we will see you soon.